adverts that the Conservative Party put out for Ed Miliband and I think that was Alex Salmond. So these adverts, these political party adverts, they're actually all under the law of parliamentary agency, right? When you read the law of agency, um, it's under the election laws, right? But it's actually the parliamentary law of agency, right? All parliamentary elections are still under the jurisdiction of Parliament, because it's a parliamentary election, right? And this is all connected in with election petitions and, since 1868 when they let the courts hear an election petition, but it's still a petition, and there's still certain parliamentary law in effect, like, certificates of indemnities and all things like that, and they have to send a report to the Speaker. The actual election itself, and you see, the election agent has, claims certain monies back from Parliament because it's a parliamentary election, right? Now, this is the thing: when the Conservative Party are, they're spending money and they're running a campaign, right? And it's all done under the laws and rules, right, of what you can and can't do. Now, this is the thing. They want to do these modern adverts, right? Because after all, remember, when the Petitions Committee did a review in 1993 and 2004, they said they're going to relax the rules. It's going to be informal. They want to modernise, right? And we can see that in these adverts. This is relaxed, this is informal, this is modern, right? And that they're having a laugh. That they're also having a joke as well, being witty to wit, right? Having a bit of a laugh, like Boris Johnson did in his newspaper column, and like Robert Williams, let me entertain you, right? And this is the thing. So it's funny, it's clever, it's witty, and it's trying to make a political point, right? And it's also mocking Ed Miliband, right? Now, this is the thing. This is Parliament. The law and agency of Parliament. It's a parliamentary campaign. It's a parliamentary material, right? The parliamentary papers, and this is the standard that they work to, and it's the same. Look at that Donald Trump petition when they I signed it, but mainly just because everyone else was signing it, and it was just like, a bit of excitement or whatever, block Donald Trump from coming to England, right? I only signed it because, there were over 1 million people signing it, like everyone just signed the petition for the sake of it, right? But it's a silly petition that people sign that's completely pointless, but people sign silly petitions that are pointless and they don't pay any interest to really important, serious ones that actually could, do some good. Right? Now, this is the thing. When we're doing petitions, right? Now, remember that in 1993 and 2004, they said they were going to relax the rules, but no rules have been relaxed. They haven't relaxed the rules. These standards they've got are so strict now. There's no substance or character to a petition. He wants it analog. He wants it like AI. He wants you to say what you want, and then really, if they could, they'd get you to type it in, press a button, and then let AI reformulate it so it was how they wanted it to be said, right? There was no character, substance, or personality in it. Yet, notice the parliamentary, and that's a really important word here, the parliamentary election campaigns of what is allowed to make a point to the public to persuade them to go to the ballot box and vote for their party, vote for their candidates, vote for them, right? Like, persuading to someone to sign a petition, right? And to beat their opponents, defeat them, right? Because after all, this advertisement has got both of their opponents in there, and they want to defeat them. One of them's dead now, right? It's all sport. But now Keir Starmer, who says, "Oh, we're going to play ball. Let's play ball. I'm a sportsman, prosecution and defence. I'm a fair man. I play by the rules." Tosh, Starmer wouldn't know what playing by the rules was if he had two teams of referee. If he had, a five-a-side football match with referees, Starmer believes in an authoritarian police regime. We've got the power, you haven't. Where the one, it's our law. It's for us to use against you, and you'll do what we say, right? And we're the ones running the security cameras, the surveillance. We're the ones who got the equipment. We're the ones who are going to win, and you're the ones who are going to lose, right? Keir Starmer doesn't know what sportsmanship is. He doesn't even know the concept of it. Like, play with marbles. I'll have 5 marbles and you have 5 marbles, right? And we'll both roll them and see who wins, right? Or, a game of tennis. I'll have a tennis racket and you have a tennis racket and there's a shuttlecock or whatever, right? Keir Starmer does not know what the word fair means. He doesn't even have a concept of it, right? Because if he was playing fair, then we would be able to play fair with the rules, right? I'm independent, right? I'm doing a petition, right? A parliamentary one to parliamentary standards, and I'm going to canvass it, right? To parliamentary standards like all the billboards around England have, parliamentary standards like these, right? On the Parliament website. But I'm not even going to use pictures, right? These guys have got an advantage. They're allowed to use a picture, right? Although you can put links in e-petitions, but since when has an e-petition been accepted with a live link in it, unless it's to legislation, and they even deny them then, I'll just write it in words, and I'll even be restricted on the amount of words that I can use to conjure up the image, right? Give me 5 words, 50 words, right? Be lucky if you get 50 words or 50 letters, right? Axe Keir Starmer's pension. Oh, he's got one, has he? Oh, yeah, I just wanted to mention that in. Oh, you can't have a petition about Keir Starmer's name. Really? That's funny, because this parliamentary election campaign has got Ed Miliband in it and Alex Salmond. That's 2 people's names in it, right? This is the thing. But it's an act of law of England. I've got a right to repeal an act of law of England. This is the thing, and then there's all weird stuff happening, like, his brother mysteriously passes away, and other stuff, all... electricity gets turned off on your building. All the, they're pulling out all the stops. Well, can't we? It's like, can't we just play football? Does there have to be a stadium, disaster where Hillsborough and everyone gets killed? Can't we just play the game? Oh, like, what is the game? What is the game? Right? What is the game? I thought the game is collecting signatures, asking for something, and try to beat the opponent, fairly by making a point. And the next thing, all hell's breaking loose. This is a thing. So, we're not even allowed to, okay, I'll give you an advantage. I don't need an advantage. I just want to be allowed to do something, right? You restrict my words. You restrict how many words I can use. Can't use any pictures. Can't use any links. How much of an advantage does Starmer want? It's like tying your arm behind your back and then, fight. Starmer's got 8 arms, like Shiva, but you've got one hand, but he's tied one arm behind your back, and then he expects you to have a fair fight with him, right? You're not even allowed, you can't even just use, your restricted words, which take an extra additional amount of time for processing. Now that even though there's 11 people on the committee, right, plus Parliament staff, this is a thing, it's almost kind of like, like if you're doing a sport, right, and you do a really good move, right, someone taking photos, but you do something really good, like a good jump or something like that, but they don't take the photograph, because they don't actually want there to be a record of you doing something good or better than them. this is the thing, sports, right? That's what Starmer and the government are doing with the petitions at the moment. Someone does a really good one, right? Oh no, it's like, oh no, don't take that photograph. It's but yeah, the cheer on the Olympics. They're all out. The Olympics opening ceremony. Oh yeah, we're sportsmen. England's best. We've got as best athletes here. Daley Thompson or whatever, right? Can you imagine if the Channel 4 had turned the telly off? Daley Thompson is just about to win, the marathon, and just turn the telly off. Oh, no one saw it, and then turn it back on again. That's what Starmer's doing with our petitions. There's a good one there. We'll turn it off. It's despicable. It's not playing ball or sportsmanship. It's evil. It's despicable. It's like kick you in the testicles. It's like they're kicking us in the testicles and turning the camera off when they're doing it. Turning it back on again. This is the thing. If you cannot think of, right, a clever, witty political point in a petition, like Mayor of London wants to be able to change all the names of the streets in London to confuse everyone, and probably to his wit, his cleverness, right? So, why don't we start with let's have Downing Street as Davros Street then? Oh no, we can't have that one. Everyone will sign that and make the Prime Minister look bad. Well, that's the point. I want to beat him. We don't want him as a Prime Minister. We want to win, him to lose, right? People to sign it, and get a new Prime Minister. That's the point, right? Just like these Conservatives want to beat Alex Salmond and Ed Miliband, right? They want to win, and they want them to lose. This is the thing. But apparently, under the jurisdiction of the Parliament of England, where they're going to be claiming money back for these, what they're spending on these as well, remember, there's certain rules where they can spend certain amounts of money, but I don't know how they get these £5 million donations and other parties done. I'm not quite exactly, I haven't read the part what says exactly what the spending cap is, how you can have some parties who get more or less donations and how it's fair, but there's got to be some threshold where they are allowed to claim a certain amount back. So that means that Parliament, they do claim a certain amount of monies back. That there is a certain claim through the election agent, right, for certain costs, right? So that means that the Parliament of England, right, Speaker Lindsay Oil over there, Black Rod, Black Rod over there, and Jamie Stone, we all love Jamie Stone with his, Penfold glasses. He's very, very proper, very, very proper gentleman, right? Very, very, very intelligent, proper gentleman, right? Jamie Stone and Lindsay Oil, over there, right? They're paying, right, the bill, the money, right, through a parliamentary agency, right, cost for this freaking advert here, right? For this advert. Parliament are paying for it. Money, right? That's the standard. That's the sportsmanship, right? The standard of sportsmanship. But, it's Rishi Sunak. Born and bred at Winchester University, just like Lord Cameron. Oxford, yes, we'll give them some backbone. Teach them how to fight proper, Teach them how to fight proper, Oxford University, right? And Winchester, here's Rishi Sunak. Yes, here's a new coffee cup I made. Turn it up and down 3 degrees, it keeps your coffee warm, right? Oh, that's clever, Rishi. How about, I'm an independent person who wants to get a law made or changed or stopped, like the ones you're trying to put through at the moment, right? How's about a fair game on that? How about I try and stop you with a petition? Axe Keir Starmer's pension instrument. How about change Downing Street, number 10, to Davros Street? How about that? Oh, no, you can't have that one. It's too witty, too clever, not up to the standards. Just a minute. But I ain't even asking any money. I ain't even asking any money for it. You even got a picture. It's words, right? How is it, right, that Lindsay Oil right, over there, right, is signing off, right, money, giving money, right, to political parties, right, under the agency of Parliament for little tiny pocket people, Lilliputs, little Ed Miliband's, right? Now, is Ed Miliband going to go into the petitions committee in Parliament, right? I'm going to go up to the computer, right, and approve every single petition that I have submitted since October of 2024, right? So I get a string of emails in my inbox saying, your petition has gone live, 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 right? Seeing though not one of those petitions, right, is any worse than this advert, than the points made in this advert, right? And I ain't even using a picture, and I'm restricted on how many words I use. And money. I'm not claiming a penny back from Parliament for any of those petitions that got rejected. None, right? These men are cheats, right? Oxford cheats. They don't play fair. Keir Starmer is a cheat in the world with Tony Blair. They'll put your arm behind your back, tie you together, and then fist fight you, right? With the police chiefs, they're not sportsmen, they're thugs. And the MI5 chief, right, is lobbying this government because he wants security and surveillance when in the history of England, no sheriff or judge has voted in this country. None. No police officers in this country should be allowed to vote in a polling station, or judges, or even government staff, right? We're the voters, but yet they are getting everything they want put through that government. We want surveillance cameras. We want facial recognition software program. We want tracking chips on everyone's dogs, right? They're even probably paying for the adverts on TV for it, right? We're the voters. We decide, right? Because these police chiefs, senior officers, are taking over this planet, right? And they don't play fair. They're dirty cheats. They'll kick your door in, right? Kick your front door straight in, right? They're the ones with the power. It's their law for them, not us, right? And they won't even publish, right, a witty comment. Yet they're running witty adverts and even claiming the money back for them, right? Because they're cheats. They've never seen a fair fight in their life. Yet Lindsay Oil is advertising boxing matches. He's advertising boxing matches on Betfred, right? The cheats. Whatever happened to English sportsmanship, right, is gone. We are run by cheats and liars. They can't even tell the truth about the law. Keir Starmer is a cheater. A cheater in... He's no sportsman. He's no ball game player, right? He'll block you and ban you, right? He does not play fair. Just like Lord Cameron and the rest of them. They're all cheats.